Thanks for that. Good morning. This is Ian Doyle, Board President of the Oregon Board of Pharmacy. I will now call this meeting of the Oregon Board of Pharmacy to order. Today is Wednesday, June 12th, 2024. It is 8:31 a.m. Board of Pharmacy meetings are conducted in accordance with the Oregon Public Meetings Law. Under the Public Meetings Law, governing body meetings are open to the public except as otherwise provided by law. The presiding officer has the authority to keep order and to impose any reasonable restrictions necessary for the efficient and orderly conduct of the meeting. Governing bodies are authorized by ORS 192.660 to meet in executive session in certain limited situations, including the consideration of information obtained by a health regulatory board as part of an investigation of a licensee or applicant conduct. All official actions by the board must be taken by public vote, and the vote of each member must be reported. Each meeting, we remind ourselves of our mission. That is, the Oregon Board of Pharmacy serves to promote and protect public health, safety, and welfare by ensuring high standards in the practice of pharmacy and through effective regulation of the manufacturer and distribution of drugs. New this month, or this meeting, we'll also be reading our equity statement. That is, the Oregon Board of Pharmacy is committed to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, also known as DEIB, within its organization and for the public it serves. This commitment is reflected in board membership, agency staffing, and services provided, and its efforts to promote patient safety and ensure access to quality pharmacy care. Our actions outlined in our DEIB and affirmative action plans demonstrate this commitment. The following principles guide our approach. Promote a welcoming, safe, and inclusive culture for people of all backgrounds. Foster an inclusive environment where all current and prospective licensees and registrants receive fair and unbiased service from the agency staff and board. Advance diversity and equity in access through culturally responsive service delivery that addresses the changing climate within the pharmacy profession, and to ensure all patients needing pharmacy services are able to receive safe and timely access to medications regardless of place of residence, economic or social status, physical ability, ethnicity, or gender identity. I will now call roll for board and staff. For the record, when I call your name, please verbally acknowledge here. Board President Ian Doyle here. Board Vice President Kat Chin. Here. Board Member Shannon Beeman. Here. Board Member Rachel DeBarmore. Here. Board Member Jennifer Hall. Here. Board Member Rosemary Hemmons. Here. Board Member Rich Joyce. Here. Board Member Priyal Patel. Here. The Compliance Officer Joe Ball. Here. Strategic Initiatives Manager Chelsea Dasher. Pharmacy Consultant Jennifer Davis. Here. Compliance Director Brianne Effermoff. Here. Compliance Officer Cheryl Fox. Here. Executive Director Jamal T. Fox. Here. Licensing Director Chrissy Hennigan. Compliance Officer Jane Lee. Here. Operations Manager Rachel Melvin. Here. Compliance Officer Brian Murph. Here. Compliance Officer Aaron Richmond. Here. Compliance Officer Gary Runyon. Here. For Council Rachel Bertoni. Here. It is noted through earlier correspondence that Board Member Hemmons and Board Member Patel will be leaving approximately noon today. There will be an opportunity for public comment on Friday afternoon. The board will not deliberate any issues or requests during public comment, such as formal requests, issues currently under investigation, requests pending before the board, or currently proposed rules. Public comment is only limited to matters that were noticed on the board meeting agenda. Comments will not be allowed that are no Comments will not be allowed that are longer than the time allotted by the chair. Sign up to provide public comment. Email your request to pharmacy.board@bop.oregon.gov by 12 p.m. on Friday, June 14th, 2024. With regards to housekeeping and meeting etiquette, please place your microphone to the left side if you are right-handed, or to the right side if you are left-handed, and simply bend the microphone towards you a few inches away when it's your turn to speak. When you are done providing comment, bend the microphone away as a signal that you have completed your statement. Board proceedings utilize Robert's Rules modified for parliamentary procedures. We will continue to facilitate board discussions using the quote-unquote round robin method. I will continue to utilize board member checkoff lists to ensure each board member has been called upon and has equal time to provide comments. If during your turn you want to ask questions, please direct your question to Executive Director Fox so that he can immediately respond or delegate to another. Exemptions to this path would be if, for example, you had specific questions for pharmacist consultant Davis while she was actively seeking feedback on a proposed rule. When you have finished speaking, please indicate as such so that I don't accidentally misinterpret your pause and call on the next board member too soon. An action of that would be moving your microphone away. In order to complete board meeting agenda items in both executive and open session, each board member will have 3 minutes to provide comments. The section of the meeting labeled matters to be discussed by the board will occur at the end of the meeting on Friday. We've set aside 30 minutes to allow each board member an opportunity to provide feedback, ideas, or topics for discussion for future board meetings. Please remember for board and agency staff to identify yourself as board or agency staff member, followed by your last time each time you speak. Silence all devices. It is extremely important that board members speak one at a time and directly into the microphone, and to please limit side conversations as they interfere with the recording. Raise your hand when you have questions or comments. Please note that the meeting is being recorded and retained for public record keeping purposes. The board will meet in executive session for most of the day and anticipates resuming open session between 4:30 and 5 p.m. this afternoon. For those in the room, please separate all the recycling and place it in their appropriate bins. We will now review the board meeting agenda and ask each board member to provide any revisions to the board meeting agenda. I, Board President Doyle, do not have any revisions. Board Vice President Chin.
No revisions.
Member Beeman.
Revisions?
Member DeBarmore.
Nothing.
Member Hall.
Nothing.
Member Hemmons.
And
Member Joyce.
No revisions.
Member Patel.
nothing.
Is there a motion to move to approve the agenda?
Member DeBarmore, so moved.
Is there a second?
Member Chin, seconds.
We have a motion and a second. I will now call roll to approve the agenda. Board President Doyle, yes. Board Vice President Chin.
Yes.
Board Member Beeman.
Yes.
Member DeBarmore.
Yes.
Board Member Hall.
Yes.
Board Member Hemmons. Member Joyce.
Yes.
Board Member Patel.
Yes.
Motion passes. We have an approved agenda for June's meeting. Prior to going into executive session, board members must announce that they are recusing themselves from compliance cases. Please state the case number. Do not state the name of the case and the reason for the recusal as bias, direct financial, potential financial, or witness in a case. Board President Doyle has no recusals. Board Vice President Chin.
Recusals.
Board Member Beeman.
Recusals.
Board Member DeBarmore.
Board Member DeBarmore, cases 2021-0153 and 2023 and 1102 the bias.
Member Hall.
Member Hall, yes, case 2024 0277 due to bias.
Member Hemmons,
Board Member Hemmons, cases 2024-0122 and 2024-0023 due to bias.
Oh, it's incorrect. The number's not right.
our records prior, with prior communication had indicated, 2024-0122 and 2024-0123. You stated 0023. I'm just asking for clarification.
Member Hemmons, sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses. So I can't see it, so
Can you guys confirm?
that might be correct.
Great. We will note, case 2024-0122 and 2024-0123. Should there also be a case labeled 0023, we'll also stop and pause at that moment. Board Member Joyce,
Board Member Joyce, cases 2023-0455 and case number 2023-0456 due to bias.
Member Patel,
Nothing at mine.
Cases.
thank you. I will turn it over to Executive Director Fox to introduce new staff member Chelsea Dasher.
Thank you, President Doyle. We're elated to welcome Ms. Chelsea Dasher to the Oregon Board of Pharmacy as the Executive Assistant Strategic Initiatives Manager to the Executive Director. This position and duties were reclassified by the legislature during the 2024 short session and have been vacant since June of 2023. I am very happy to welcome Chelsea to the agency and look forward to working closely with her as we continue our realignment process. Chelsea is an accomplished program manager with 9 years of experience driving initiatives across social impact sectors, companies, and the federal government. Most recently, she worked at Nike overseeing program management and public consumer insights department, as well as establishing and implementing new program management tools and processes. Chelsea holds a Master of Science in International Development from the University of Edinburgh, where she focused on research and management of youth and gender programs. She also has a BA in Politics from UC Santa Cruz. She is passionate about using digital tools to improve community development programs, closing gender gaps, promoting social inclusion, improving education, and encouraging civic engagement for young people. With that, Chelsea, anything you want to say to the board before you turn it back over?
Thank you for welcoming me here, and I'm excited to attend my first board meeting.
Board Member Doyle speaking. Thank you. Welcome. We look forward to your contributions. Would also like to acknowledge thanks for the Employee Engagement Committee who brought in treats for us this morning for everybody in the room. The time now is 8:44. This executive session is held pursuant to ORS 192.660 12FL, ORS 192.690 para 1, ORS 676.165, and ORS 676.175, which allows the board to meet in executive session to consider information or records that are exempt from law from public inspection. Representatives of the media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session. Representatives of the media are specifically directed not to report on any of the deliberations during the executive session except to state the general subject of the session as previously announced. No decision may be made in executive session. At the end of executive session, we will return to open session and welcome the public back into the meeting. Is there a motion to move into to enter executive session for the purpose of legal advice, review, and discussion of investigations and disciplinary cases at 8:46 a.m.?
Member Beeman, so moved.
There a
Joyce,
second?
second.
Have a move and a second. We'll now call roll for the approval of moving into executive session. Board President Doyle, yes. Board Vice President Chin.
Yes.
Board Member Beeman.
Yes.
Board Member DeBarmer. Board Member Hall. Board Member Hemmons.
Yes.
Board Member Joyce.
Yes.
Board Member Patel,
Yes.
motion passes. Please wait while staff transitions from open session to an executive session situation.